What's up, guys? Migs here with Market Open. A little bit longer than about an hour. As you can see, my account is basically a complete turnaround and the opposite of what happened yesterday. So I was all green except for one trade. Yesterday I was all red except for one trade. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Let's do the midday market recap. The first trade I took today was on PE, right here on the 1 minute chart. Somewhere. Show it to you guys as I saw it here. Alright, so with PE, it was gapping down this morning, down from 28. It opened up somewhere around, let's see here, around the 25 mark. As you can see, it immediately moved up, and then it failed to move higher. So as I like to do, I wait for it to move down below VWAP and below the 9. So as you can see it on here, it came up, failed to move higher. See all these upper wicks, meaning that it tries to go up and it just sells off. Goes up, sells off. So it started here, came down, bounced, and our short was right here at 25.30. So usually I won't take these type of trades too often. You'll see me do a lot of opening range breakouts. Quick pullback buys, so it'll go up, it'll pull back, and then I'll buy it on the way back in. Or what I used to do is, this is more my mentor strategy of like it first pulling back up and then starting to fail. It's basically all it is a reversal. So we're just waiting for it to completely fail. Set your stop at the top. So my stop was up here at 25.30. Let's see here. So I I doubled down. Oh, let me put this thing. There we go. All right, so actually I doubled down since it was a reversal and it was looking very good. I was very confident in doubling down after I saw these wicks kind of sell off, and it's just failing to move higher. So I shorted it right here at 25.30. Right as it broke, got it right at 25.30, 600 shares. It kind of floated around here for a little bit. It actually pulled back, but then I noticed that it didn't want to go any higher than VWAP. And I kept it, let's see here, I got it down to 24.99, so as you can see, it just started breaking down and selling off. So got it right around here. Next candle probably. Yep, I got it here. I sold 300 shares as it started, excuse me, as it started breaking down below 25. So it was kind of bouncing around here. I think I actually might have gotten rid of it right here, 950. Nope, got rid of it right here, right as it broke down below 25. So I was hoping that it was just going to break down and just flush, but it didn't. But as you can see, I drawn out these levels on it, and it had difficulty going below the 24.90 part. So it was just kind of floating around here, so I just decided to take my half of it off. And then as it started bouncing back, I actually took the rest of it off. Ended up making 171 on that. As you can see, if I would have kept it, obviously it would have kept going lower. But I had already got my 1-to-1. So usually I'll try and stick to the 2-to-1. But just lately, I have been having like a string of losers. So I saw the the 1-to-1 ratio, and I was like, I'll take it for now. Because you never know, the market did start red this morning, but they have a tendency to bounce back very hard. So every pullback is basically being bought up. And what I mean by that is whenever the market is red and it comes back either at the end of the day or if it's too red, algorithms, big hedge funds will start coming into the market and just buying up everything and just starting to pull the market back up. So my next trade was ESRX. So gapping down from 82 right here. So as you can see, this is basically the same thing. It's just it fails to move any higher. But this one actually initially moved down, pulled back up, and then as you can see the 9, so you guys see it a little bit better. All right, so you can see the 9 and VWAP here, and we decided to take it short under the 74.50 mark. I actually got a really bad fill on that one. I clicked the button like a second too late. I clicked it a second too late, But my stop was up here at the 75.50 mark, so I only took 100 shares. So as you can see, it flushed down, and I actually ended up covering right around the 73 mark. So ESRX right here, it held it for about 15 minutes, and it started bouncing at the 73 mark, so I actually got out of it. I got a little bit, let's see here, I got a little bit more than what I was risking, so actually no, I got about the same. So 116, bounced around the 73 mark. As you can see, it actually came all the way back up on relatively large amount of volume here, so you can see it's actually starting to get back up, and it's higher volume than when it was selling off, so that's not good. And as you can see, it actually came back up, so it's a good thing that I got out of it. So that's why it's smart. So whenever you hit your target, you want to take most of your shares off, at least half or 3/4, so then you can put some money in your pocket and you don't give that money back into the market. So that was ESRX. Next short, that's recovering some of PE, recovering ESRX. All right, so my only loss here was on GGG. It was called out by somebody in the room. It actually looked really, really good, and that's why, let's see here. I believe I doubled down on it. Yep, so I actually bought 200 shares of it. So right here, just exactly as the other one, just on a different time frame. So this is the 5-minute chart. So it pulled down, pulled back up, and it bounced right at the whole number of 44. We took it short right at 44. I got a bad fill again at 43.77. I saw 44 hit. I thought I clicked the button, but there were a lot of people trying to short it during that time. So it just flushed down real fast, and I got filled probably right here in this candle. Yep, so right here in this candle, and it actually ended up holding and coming right back. So it didn't really quite work. The market was actually still coming down during this time, but this is something that has a relatively high hit percentage. So there's nothing that I personally did wrong. There were several other people in the room that took this trade as well. You just have to know when it doesn't work and when to get out. So I got out over the $45 mark. I actually ended up losing $127 on this. My initial stop here was actually going to be the 45.42 mark, but it's a good thing that I didn't, because I would have lost the $200. So as it did hold VWAP, which is the white line here, and the 9, I was actually starting to get a little nervous that it was actually going to start climbing back up during that time, because remember, I short things under VWAP, under the 9, and they should never really come back up above it. So good thing that I got out over the $45 mark. So double down here. Got out of GGG. Actually, no, I got out even sooner. I got out at 44.50. That's right. Yeah, so it actually curled back up over the 9. That's when I got out. So got out at 44.52. Took the $127 loss, unfortunately. Let's see here. Next trade was EXTR. So during this time, EXTR was it gapped up, and it was actually moving up against the market. So also during this time, the market was actually kind of bottoming out, and it was actually going to start pulling back. So as it started pulling back, I got a little bit more confidence in that, and I took 1,000 shares of this. I got in on this candle. So as you can see, I waited for it pulled up. Since it was gapping up already, I waited for it to pull back to the 9 in VWAP. My initial entry should have been right here at 14.92 with a stop right here at 14.82. Should have been really this candle. I believe I actually got in on this candle. So EXTR right at 10.11. Yep, so I got in actually right in this candle. I was just making sure that the previous candle was going to hold above the 9. Like I told you guys, if I'm going to long something, it's going to be above the 9, and it's going to be above VWAP, and I have to make sure that it holds. So one of the things, it's kind of like that I hear a lot from one of the other guys that I follow as well, that I look up to, is it's kind of like baking a cake. You have to have all these certain things, all these ingredients for the trade to work out in your way. So if you're trying to make a cake, kind of a weird analogy, I know, but it makes sense, trust me. So if you're trying to make a cake and you need specific ingredients, you need the flour, you need the eggs, you need the icing, you need the certain baking pan and all this stuff to be able to make the egg. Same thing when you're trading stocks. So you need the 9, you need the VWAP, you need the volume, you need certain things to hold, you need for it to be gapping up, because if you don't have the right ingredients, the trade is just not going to work, and it's going to be a lower percentage. So you're trying to make a cake, but then you start putting in ice cubes and something completely weird that's not meant for that specific reason, and you end up with a pie or something completely different. So just taking that into account, trading is like baking a cake. But either way, so I had everything, all the ingredients that I needed for me to be able to take this long. So I took it right at 14.92, made sure the candle held, and I held it until 700 shares right at 15.11. My initial target was actually 15.12. It kept hitting 15.11, and it wouldn't want to break through. So as soon as I saw it, I just took 15.11 as 1 cent. It's not a big deal, but as you can see, it actually ended up going higher. I just didn't want the market to start turning around and head back the other way, and just me losing out on the profits just because I was being greedy about 1 cent. So I went ahead and took it at 15.11, took 700 shares, 3/4, and the rest I took at 15.19 right in here. So with EXTR, I actually ended up making a little shy under $200. So that was my 2-to-1. As the market was pulling back, everything was perfect. VWAP 9, it was gapping up. I had all the ingredients for me to be able to shoot for that 2-to-1, and I got it. The next one I took was a little bit more of a scalp because it was against the trend right here. So TEVA. A lot of you guys know TEVA from gapping down. It's probably a few months back. And it's terrible. It basically got cut more than half probably. So TEVA used to be at 37, 38 bucks, and when it fell, it was down to like 32. So, and it fell all the way down to $10. So there's a lot of people underwater on this, and I know that. So any spike, any up movement, it will be a good opportunity for people to sell into. Although TEVA was actually gapping down this morning. So there's people underwater on it. It was gapping down this morning, and the market was red. So going back to the cake analogy, it's not all the ingredients that you really quite need. It did end up actually working out, but that's why I turned it into a scalp. So what I did is just got in on this bull flag. I made sure that the VWAP at 9 held. It pulled up, pulled back to the moving averages. I got in over 2050. So got in right here at 2049. And so I got in. My stop was right here at the bottom of this pivot at 2030. And I actually got rid of it at 2060. My target was actually 2070. But as you can see on here, it hit for a split second. So it hit, it pulled all the way back, and it hit again, and it just pulled all the way back. So that's not a good sign. So I went ahead and took my profits at 2060. And that is all the trades that I took for the day. Up $410. Took one loss on GGG. And yeah, I guess I will talk to you guys tomorrow. If you guys make sure, if you have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below. Also, make sure to join our Facebook group. I think we're almost close to the 2,000 mark. We're getting there. So I put up my watch list for everybody to take advantage of every morning, and so many people use it to be able to get a read on the market, what it's doing, some of the gappers for the morning, and a lot of people actually do take advantage of it, which I'm glad to see that I'm helping out other people that are relatively new and don't really know which way to go. So if you're either new or you are experienced, we have a lot of different people in the room, different analysts, people that have been trading for over 20 years, just a lot of finance people, economics people, all that. So if you're definitely interested in trading or investing or would like to be surrounded by like-minded people, make sure to join the Facebook group. There's a link to it below, and I'll talk to you guys next time.